Greetings everyone. So we've come to the last part of this lesson, and today we are going to discuss about maintaining postures according to biomechanical factors. So we talked about the two biomechanical factors, balance and the center of gravity. So when we engage in static postures in our day-to-day life, like standing, sitting and lying down, it's important that we pay attention to center of gravity and balance. And let's see how we can apply the biomechanical factors in our postures. So if we take standing, at the beginning of this lesson, we learned that the center of gravity of a person in standing posture is at a distance of about 56% of the height above the level of the ground. And when it comes to males, females, and a child, it is said that in general, a female center of gravity is below that of a male. And I believe it happens because of the body shapes, the typical body shapes of a man and a woman, and it causes the center of gravity to lie at a lower level in women and at a higher level among males comparatively. And it is also an advantage for females to maintain their balance, especially during the period of pregnancy. It is also said that a child's center of gravity is situated at a higher level than of an adult. Now, it's not much clearly shown in the picture we have here, but I also think that it depends on the child's age. It depends on the size of the child. So, when standing, if the hands are moved, we know that the center of gravity changes. So, when standing for a long time, having a wider support of base, having a wider supporting base helps to maintain good balance. Therefore, when we stand, we have to remember these things, like to keep our body vertically, and hands should be kept on either side of the body, and to keep the feet apart. When we keep our feet apart, we are having a wider supporting base, and when we are keeping our hands down on either sides, we are bringing down the center of gravity at its original place. So if you are stretching our arms or hands, and we are working with our arms, then it kind of brings up the center of gravity, kind of imbalances the body. So what we can do is we can keep the feet apart and usually at an equal distance of the shoulder, and direct the body weight to spread equally to both feet. So it will help you when standing for a long time. And when standing and attending to any work, you also have to remember to keep the body in a vertical stance like this, and not in a hunched manner. That will also affect your muscles, bones, the spine, causing you ailments and diseases later in life. And also make sure that you keep your feet apart at an equal distance of the shoulder, maintaining the balance. And after that, you can adjust the working surface to the level of the elbow. For example, if you are ironing your clothes, you can make sure that you have adjusted the working surface to the level of the elbow. So you're not raising your hands or arms up. If you start to raise your arms, that will bring up the center of gravity and cause some sort of an imbalance, and it also brings the spread of weight of your body towards the upper part of the body, and it is not the most suitable way to be standing for a long time. So if you're working at a standing posture for a long time, it is better to keep your elbows relaxed and bring your working surface to the level of the elbow. So like I said before, if you're not keeping your back straight, if you're being hunched and leaning forward and working for a long time, it will result in injuries to the muscles and ligaments of the body. So there's a long-term problem called kyphosis that happens in the spine. That's a spinal problem that can also happen due to the hunched back posture. If you are bending and working in a particular posture for a long time, kyphosis is one of the results. So sitting is also another common posture that we do in our day-to-day life. So we know that when we sit, our center of gravity lies down somewhere here, and it is at a lower level than when we are standing. So when we are sitting, our body weight acts on the pelvis, and because the center of gravity lies at a lower level, the body is also well balanced. So we keep sitting for study purposes, or else when it comes to work, or even when driving a vehicle, or even when we are resting, we perform this posture of sitting. So there are certain things you have to consider when it comes to the correct posture of sitting. You have to make sure that you keep your spine vertical. Keep your spine vertical. It's not exactly straight because your spine has a natural curve. Make sure you maintain the natural curve and keep it vertical. That's what matters. And then also you have to make sure that your waist, your knees, and then your ankles are bent at 90 degrees. Your waist, knees, and your ankles should be bent at 90 degrees. And the soles of the feet, they should be touching the floor, not hanging up here. They should be touching the floor. So in order to maintain all these, it's better to use a properly designed chair for that. So if it's a properly designed chair, you should be having a backrest to lean. Unlike this one, it's better to have a backrest. And then the height of the chair should be equal to the height of the knee from its feet, and also the sitting surface should not be very hard or very soft. And it is better to have a hand rest. Now this chair has a hand rest, this one doesn't. Better to have a hand rest so you can rest your elbows on it. And so we engage in sitting in different activities in our daily life. When it comes to sitting and working at a table, there are certain things again that you have to consider. So make sure that you sit closer to the table. Unlike this picture, make sure you sit closer to the table. And if the chair is higher than the normal weight, what happens? We need to bend forward. So the chair should be in a position where the feet are touching the floor. You have to adjust your chair so that your feet are touching the floor. And the table surface should be also at the level of your elbows. And the distance between the table and the seat should be at least 20 centimeters. So, and like we discussed before, make sure that you keep the spine vertical and the feet should be touching the ground. Hip and the knees and hips bent at 90 degrees. And if you are sitting for a long time, it's always better to get up and take a walk from time to time. Stretch your body, so that will prevent any pressure causing on your spinal cord. And then when it comes to driving a vehicle, it's a bit different. you have to sit on the driver's seat in a relaxed manner and hands are bent slightly. They are bent slightly at the elbows, and keep your back straight and rest completely against the backrest. And the legs should also be in a relaxed position when using brakes. And then while working at the computer, the chair should be 1 inch higher than the usual height. The spine should be vertical. Your head should not be swayed forward or even backward. Your feet should touch the floor and the shoulders should be parallel to the hip bone. Here also you have to change your posture every half an hour likewise. You can stand, you can walk, stretch your hands in order to prevent any injuries. So in all these situations, the seat should be a well-balanced one. And it is compulsory to sit in a balanced position in order to prevent any ailments or diseases. When it comes to lying down, we lie down for different purposes in our lives. So when we want to sleep, or if we are sick, and maybe even after an accident or even at rest, we lie down. So and it would differ from time to time the way we lie down. However, when we lie down, the correct position is to lie down straight with your face up, or else you can lie down by turning to left or right side. Either way is correct if you follow this method. So, and when you lie down in the correct posture, the center of gravity lies closer to the body and also closer to the surface of your lying area. And as a result, there's more balance in the body. The air should, and when you lie down, the airway should not be obstructed, and the circulatory process should also not be obstructed. So here you can see when you lie down like this, you can breathe properly, your airway is not obstructed, and your circulatory system is also not obstructed. And when you lie down in the correct posture, you will not have any aches or pains in your body. And make sure that you lie down, or your mattress in your bed is medium soft, not very soft, but medium soft is ideal, and it should be horizontal and flat, not with any dents or bumps, so that you can prevent any muscle related problems. And lying down should not also affect the curves of the spine or the muscles of your back. That brings us to the end of the lesson. And the key takeaway of this lesson is to make sure that you maintain a correct posture all the time. Because if you are having an incorrect posture, you are putting extra and unnecessary effort on your muscles, bones, and other parts of the body. And it can increase the risk of causing injuries to your joints, muscles, and spine that will lead to disabilities in the long term. Therefore, always remember to maintain the center of gravity and a good balance, which are the biomechanical forces that we talked about in this lesson, by adopting correct postures. So let's meet again soon in another lesson.